today I am here to talk about Divergent, book to movie adaptation majiggle. Now I am going to spoil everything here today, but I've done a book review which was in the cozy corner area now of my channel, which I will have more coming up of that. I've done a book review that is spoiler free that you can go and check out and find some more in-depth thoughts of my thoughts of the book. So I'll link that down below so you can check that out, and I will be doing a movie review in the next week probably, because I've watched this movie once. Usually the first time when I watch a movie that I've read a book for, I kind of just spend a lot of time comparing it to the book because I've got this image in my mind, and I watch it. So the second time I watch it, it's kind of more about the movie for me, so I definitely want to watch it a second time before doing the movie review. But I did want to do a comparison before I do that. So yeah, this is pretty much comparing the book to the film and how I felt about it and also like that. I will tell you now, just in case you kind of just want to know my thoughts compared to the book to the film, without being spoiled. I enjoyed the film. I thought Shailene Woodley did a really good job. I really enjoyed her as Triss. I'm really glad that she played Triss. I really liked her as Triss. I really liked the world that they set up. I really liked how it made it look. It was really nice and futuristic. I really liked the cinematography in it. I thought it looked really great. There were some scenes I loved, and there were some scenes that I didn't like so much that kind of changed. I would highly recommend reading the book before watching the film, because the book is definitely a lot more intense than the film was. There's something in the book that's definitely more, it definitely, like I say, it's just more intense, to be honest, than the film. And that was something that I really enjoyed in the book that the movie didn't quite have as much of. So that's definitely what I'm going to talk more about in this video. But yeah, even though this book is a pretty lengthy book, I think it's nearly just short of 500 pages, but I still recommend you read it and give it your time. I think you'll really enjoy it. So yeah, now we'll get on to the spoilery part, so please, if you haven't seen the movie or read the book, please don't watch this video. I don't want to ruin it for you, and I usually don't do spoilers, but with it being a comparison between the two, I thought, I'm not going to be able to do this without really telling you my true thoughts and things that were changed and stuff like that. So, spoilers. Don't watch this video if you haven't read the movie. Oh dear. If you haven't read the book or seen the movie. Yeah, so check out my other two videos of these, and then you can have spoiler freeness. But until then, I will see you guys who haven't read the book or the movie in my next video. And for you guys still here, let's get onto it. Okay, so Divergent. First thing I want to say, I'm not really going to tell you anything in order because my thoughts aren't quite in order, but I want to talk about the romance between Triss and Thor. I feel like when I say that it sounds like Thor, but I'm Thor. So in the book, the romance was something that I loved. It was really done well. It was kind of built up, and I know in the movie they don't have as much time. I understand that, there's not limited time and stuff, but it wasn't as not magical. It wasn't as magical in the movie. There wasn't something there that I was like, oh, this is a great romance. It was just kind of like, oh yeah, they like each other. Whereas in the book, I thought, oh, this is a really great romance between the two of them. But I personally felt like in the film, I was just like, oh, okay, yeah, they're together. But I didn't feel it was like a great romance. Like in the end of the book, when Triss was like trying to save Thor, I can't say his name properly. I feel like I pronounced it so terribly. Thor, in the trance thing, I was like I didn't want her to have to kill him, and I was so like wanting them to be together. Whereas in the movie, I was like, I wouldn't have cared as much. Say I hadn't read the book, I didn't care as much about their relationship as I did in the book. And I understand that time is short and they can't put as much in, but I kind of wish there would have been something else there, something between the romance that would have built it up a bit more in the film. I think a scene that I did really like between the two of them was the Ferris wheel scene. That honestly was a scene that, it was kind of how I imagined it. I imagined the Ferris wheel scene in the book quite like it was in the film, which I was really happy about. I loved that scene. And there was also the scene with the where she goes down the zip line. I really enjoyed that scene as well. Quite a lot of the actiony scenes I enjoyed. I really liked them jumping off the train. I really liked that. Yeah, there was definitely a lot of scenes that I thought were done great. The Ferris wheel scene, I liked the beginning, the opening bit, loved it. Loved the opening, loved when she had her first, when she had her first test to see what faction she would go into. I loved that. I thought, oh, this is going to be great. I'm going to love this. I was really, really enjoying it. Then there were some scenes, and definitely towards the end, I think it got a little bit messy. But I feel like it didn't explain itself as well as it could have. I think if I would have just literally watched the film, I would have been maybe a little tad confused. I think, you know, it explained itself well in the opening scene, but there was something that, I don't know, I think maybe seemed a little bit confusing. But that's just me. I just thought, oh, it's not explained itself as much as I thought. And with her family, there was, you know, less kind of involved. I was kind of disappointed when she went to visit her brother. That scene for me was a disappointment. I thought it was going to be a bit different, but that was only a little thing. Like, these are just little minute things. Her brother, I didn't like him in the film, but I didn't really like him that much in the book, but I kind of thought I was going to like him more in the film, but no, I was like, meh. The scene that probably annoyed me the most that was changed, well, there's probably two. So, like I say, obviously, like I say, if you're still here and you don't want to be spoiled, this is going to completely ruin everything, so please, you know, leave in the nicest way. But in the movie, when her mother dies, I was so disappointed with the way that they changed it. Like I say, again, it's a small thing, but in the book, I thought it was such a, I don't know, I loved that, how she went, yeah, you know, go and be brave, and then she was there, her mum was left with the people to fight, and Triss wandered off and then saw her mum being killed behind her and looked back and then had to run, like she couldn't help her. Whereas in the movie, she like gets shot or something, and then they're in this alleyway, and Triss is crying, and her mum's there. Whereas in the film, it seems like she's so much braver, and she's like, oh, her mum's told her to be brave and to have the courage to go, and she walks away from her, and it's sad. Like, seeing her cry over her mum is sad too, but seeing her walk away and having that courage to just having to walk away from her and can't do anything about it, that for me was sadder. That was the worst bit. And same with her father. That wasn't too sad either, and I was a bit like, okay. But the mother thing, I was like, oh no, that kind of bummed me out, because that was a scene in the book that I found to be quite powerful, so I was kind of disappointed in that. The fear landscapes, I enjoyed them in the film. I thought they were really quite good, you know, especially the water one. I thought that one was quite intense. I really, really enjoyed that. But when they went into 4's fear landscape, I kind of thought that the bit of his father, and I mean, the film's rated 12, so I feel like this kind of has something to do with it, so I don't really blame the film, but the bit of his father was kind of not as intense as it was in the book, but I feel like that was a tricky one, because it being rated 12, I feel like they couldn't have done too much, but it portrayed what it was supposed to portray. I just kind of felt like it was, like in the book, like you felt, like really felt for him, whereas I feel like in the film I didn't as much, because it was kind of toned down. But I understand why they toned it down. I think that, what was that? Oh, the end. The end was just a little bit messy, I felt. It changed, you know, she didn't go into the room. The end in this book was intense. I was reading it like, yeah. In the film it wasn't as intense. Like I say, a lot of it wasn't so intense. There was bits where I thought it was going to be more, you know, well, I can't think of another word, more intense. Anyway, so the fear, no. What was I on about? It wasn't the fear landscape, it was the end of the film. So the end of the film where she goes to try and shut down the whole thing. But then the woman's there, and in the book the woman isn't there and nobody's there and all these people are there, and she goes in and she's with 4, but in front of all these people. Whereas I think when it was just her and him, it was like less, I don't know, it was more personal. It's like just the two of them, and he was going to kill her, and then there's all these people around, and I was like, oh, why are all these people here? So I don't know, but I understand it. It made sense the way they did it, and how they had the woman from Ertude, I don't know if that's pronounced right, who put Kate Winslet to shut it down. I liked Kate Winslet in the movie. I thought she was good. You know, I liked her in the film. Yeah, so that kind of annoyed me. The end, I was like, right. But then the bit on the very, 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 very end, I was like, oh, okay, it was good. So overall, I did enjoy the movie. I don't know what I'd rate it yet. I have to watch it again, like I say. But I just think it could have been done better. Honestly, I enjoyed it, and if you've read the book, definitely check out the movie and see what you think. I'd love to know your thoughts if you've seen both down in the comments below. I know that a lot of people who have read the book really enjoyed the movie and think it was a really good adaptation. I do think it was a good adaptation. I just was kind of, I don't know, there was something that I was feeling when reading the book that I didn't feel while I was watching the film. So overall, I did really enjoy the film, and I definitely will be watching it again. I'd recommend it to people who aren't interested in reading the book. I thought as a film alone, I think a lot of people will enjoy it. But like I said, I did have some problems with it. I feel like in this review or comparison, I've stated out a lot of flaws I had with it, but that's just because for the purpose of comparing the two, it's just obvious comparisons. But overall, I enjoyed the film. I will be doing a movie review on it, and I gave the book 4 out of 5 stars. Definitely, if you've just seen the film and you've watched this, definitely check out the book. Because I personally really enjoyed the book. I think the movie could have been a bit more intense and had a bit more to it, but I enjoyed it, and for it being the first movie in the series, maybe the second one will be better. But overall, you know, for the first movie in the series and for, you know, everything that it was based on, I enjoyed it. I just had a few problems with it, but you know, there's always going to be problems when taking a whole, I mean, look how big this book is. They made that book into a film, and overall I think they did a good job. So yeah, let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. Do you like the movie? Have you read the book? What do you think about the two compared? Thumbs up if you enjoyed this comparison video. I'll be doing more book to movie comparisons. And until then guys, I'll see you next time. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already if you are a newbie, and I'll see you then. Goodbye!